What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Fanboy Talks, where we talk about everything fanboys, fangirls, literally anybody cares about. My name is Vaughn.
My name is Chase.
And today, we are going to be talking about, or at least for my topic, I want to talk about scalping. Obviously not, like, cutting off people's hair, you know what I mean? Not that whole, like, grotesque
That'd
thing
be messed up.
people used to do. Yeah, I know.
Ritualistic.
Let's talk about
If
this
that's a word.
crazy-ass shit that happened way back when. That's pretty fucked up. No, I want to talk about when people go around deliberately purchasing everything of one item. So I collect Funko Pops, love Funko Pops. I have like at least 100 more at the moment, and still getting more. People will go around and purchase every Funko Pop of a certain type when they are rare, and then sell them for more online. I hate it. I sincerely hate scalping. I think it's one of the worst things you could do as a collector. Because there's one thing, like, I'm okay with, I work in retail, I'm okay with holding specific merchandise for people who are collectors because they really want it and they might not have the time to come and pick it up. But then there's, like, scalpers know that people hate them, so they will deliberately lie to you just to get you to do it. I've been lied to so many times that I no longer, I don't hold stuff for people, which is kind of like, it's a terrible way to look at it because it's like,
It's ruining it for everyone else.
Yeah, it's like one person ruins it for the majority. And it's just completely ridiculous. I want to know how you feel about scalping. I obviously am opposed to it.
I'm not much of a collector, so it's never really happened to me. But I could definitely see if it's an item that you can't necessarily pre-order. I could see how it would be like a big pain or just something that really irritates you. Because it's like you've been waiting for a while. I'm guessing like Funko Pops, they have a release date.
Yeah.
Like, they're announced early, and then they have a release date. And you're sitting here the whole time waiting, oh, I can't wait to get that, to add that to my collection. It's going to look so great. Maybe you make a spot for it. I don't know how people do that, but they make a spot for it, and you're like, this might be my favorite ever. And then it comes out, and you go to a store, and it's like, well, sorry, one guy came in and bought them all, or one girl came in and bought them all. And you look on Craigslist and they're selling them for like triple the asking price.
Yeah, there's a specific person at the moment. There's several people, obviously, but there's one guy that came into my store, had me hold something for him, told me it was for his collection, and I was like, okay, I'll totally hold it for you because I know how that is. Like, I'm okay with that. And then it turns out that this guy goes to every store in our area, purchases all these rare Funko Pops, and then he has an Instagram where he takes pictures of them and is like, oh, look, I got 6 of this rare Funko Pop and I'm so excited. And like, he sells them for more, or like hobby shops sell them for more. I'm okay. I'm not so much like annoyed with the whole selling it for more, because that's the free market, that's capitalism, that's just how things roll. I'm annoyed that these people like go around and seek out every one they can get and take every single one to specifically, like, so now your area has a shortage of them and you're willing to pay a lot for this one thing. Like, if there's a Funko Pop that I really, really want and it costs a lot of money, I might buy it. Hey, if they ever put out a Booster Gold Funko Pop, I will buy that shit. I will buy it, and it doesn't matter how much it costs. It's gonna be mine. But I would hate for it to come out and it to not be exactly rare, but it'd be like something that people are looking for, and somebody purchases every single one and asks for like $100 over asking price. Like, Funko Pops go for $11.99, $10.99, just about there. If somebody was like, oh yeah, no, I'll sell this to you for $100, I'd be like, dude, fuck you. There's no way I'd ask for that. And that's when patience comes in, because then you just like, people are like, oh, just be patient until they get more. With collectibles, they have limited runs. They only put out certain amounts specifically because they are collectible. So it keeps people wanting these. So then once they stop producing them, you are almost guaranteed to never find one again, with the exception of on Amazon, where somebody wants you to pay like $20 to $40, $100 more than what they paid for it. And it's just a massive pain in the ass, in my opinion.
Which, that definitely sucks for something that's actually like collectible. But we've seen it happen in like systems and stuff too, like PS4s and
the Nintendo Switch right now.
The Nintendo Switch and
the NES Classic.
Yeah. So it's like, and then what that does is that influences like companies to then start selling it for more, because it's like supply and demand. So people want more, then Walmart for some reason is going to bump up the price.
Yeah, like when Walmart did the NES Classics, they were selling them for $400 because people were purchasing them for that much. It's like companies actually start taking advantage of people's desperation for this one specific object, which, I'll tell you now, NES Classic, not that cool. I bought it, I've played it like 2 times, no joke. Literally have had it sitting on my desk forever. I might sell it, and you know what? I'm gonna sell it for 60 fucking bucks. The amount that I purchased it for. Because I just want
Slightly
a return
used.
on investment. Yeah, slightly used. I touched it twice. It's cool. Like, there's no reason other than that. But yeah, scalping is just one of the most annoying things for me. I sincerely hate it, and honestly, I wish those people would just, like, never purchase anything again. I wish that they went to the part
Not even food.
Yeah, exactly. I wish they went to the circle of hell of, like, gluttons where, like, they just have to carry around a fucking bag of everything that they've ever owned, and they just have to pull it around like a desert. It's actually a thing. But, yeah, I wish that would happen to them, which sounds bad.
It sounds very dramatic.
It's very dramatic.
But if it's something you're passionate about, we can make that happen.
So what's your topic, Chase?
Well, my topic is... So, games come out, and very rarely, but sometimes you'll be able to pay, let's say, $10, $15, $20 more to be able to play the game before it technically comes out. You know what I'm saying? Like they did with Battlefield 1.
The ultimate, Battlefield 1 had the early Enlister Deluxe. Gears of War had the basically the early Enlister Deluxe. So you paid like $10 to $20 more, sometimes $30, and you got it like a week early.
And I just want to know, do we think it's like, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Like, is it an unfair advantage? Is it not?
Depending on the situation. So, if it's a multiplayer-focused game, like, I don't know, an MMO or something like that, getting it a couple days early would give these people an unfair advantage in that situation. Because they would have that, like, week beforehand, but they did purchase it. If there's a limited run, I would say it's kind of unfair, but if there's, like, equal opportunity for everyone to purchase this item, then I would kind of understand. I would be okay with it. I'd be like, oh, you know what? You had the option. You could have paid the $10 to $20 more and got in on the ground floor. You could have gotten it like a week earlier if you just paid that extra money, but instead you didn't. So obviously you're not going to get that. I would definitely understand that, but if it was a limited quantity, like, oh, only like 1 in 100 people got it kind of a thing, that would just piss me off.
See, that makes sense. And the reason I bring it up is because I believe it was a few years ago, but they did it with that NBA game. It might have been actually last year, but they did it with like the NBA 2K game. And the thing about the NBA 2K community is that you guys think that the Call of Duty community is rough. The NBA 2K community takes that shit very seriously.
They're like toxic. They're like the League
No,
of
they're
Legends
not. They're not
community.
necessarily toxic, but it's just like they will grind for days and days, because what you do in the online part of that game is you make your character, and then you have to play the actual campaign of your character to get yourself badges and to unlock more ability points to like increase your character's overall. Well, people will grind and grind and grind, and they'll get their character up to the max level, or the max overall that they can. They'll get all the badges they can, and then the whole community is about going to this thing called the My Park, and you play with your character versus other people's characters. And so I was wondering how you'd feel about that, where, yes, other people can pay for it, but it's not necessarily something that... I mean, it has a release date. Should it not come out on that release date?
I definitely think that...
Like, in a perfect world, let's say, no fairness, no whatever, just in a perfect world, does that exist?
I would say in a perfect world, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Like, morally, I might find it slightly annoying. Like, it's kind of annoying that people basically can pay for, in a way, special treatment, like preferential treatment.
Yeah.
But they did pay for it. Like, if everyone has the equal opportunity to pay for this, then it does make sense. Like,
it's like airlines when you're like a platinum, and
Yeah.
They have like seats in first class to bump people up.
Yeah,
They'll
they have,
choose
like,
the
early
platinum
boarding and all
over
sorts of
the other people.
I mean, it definitely makes sense. Like, you paid for that, so you should be able to. It's just like people who pay, like, additional amounts for certain subscription services or anything like that. Like, people who, there's certain subscriptions, like, with World of Warcraft, occasionally they would do deals like, oh, if you bought the $100, like, the 1 year version of World of Warcraft, you also got this special pet that you couldn't get anywhere else. It's like, oh, if you have the money, like, and you pay for it, you deserve to get something that nobody else gets because you paid for it. But I definitely think there shouldn't be, like, as limited as there is. Like, everyone should, if they want to, everyone should have the opportunity to purchase this specific item. That would be my big thing, is like, in a perfect world, there should be enough for everyone. There can't be, like, a limited amount, like, oh, with a lot of those things, like with Gears of War, for instance, they had the Early Enlister Deluxe, or I guess they actually called it the Ultimate Edition with that one. The Early Enlister Deluxe was Battlefield 1. They didn't actually have that many copies. Like, my store specifically got, I think, like 20, and we had like 16 people pre-order, and it was an additional cost, but like there were a lot of people that came in afterwards that wanted it and couldn't get it because like they didn't pre-order, or just like basically a bunch of issues with it.
Now that, are you finished with that one?
Oh yeah, no, that was my little tangent.
Now that we've looked at it on like the consumer side, like, okay, if I paid the money, I deserve it. Now, what if we looked about it on the, like, the company side? Like, let's say, for instance, Bungie. What if they came out and said, okay, you can do this for Destiny 2 for a cost? Is that okay with you for them to, like, exploit that?
Yeah. Yes and no. Exploitation is always so annoying, because it's like, these companies know they hold something over you because you want the product that they hold, so they know you'll pay extra for it. But, I mean, I understand. It's just like how with scalping, I'm okay with, like, mom and pop shops buying it and selling it to you for a higher amount, because it's the free market. This is the way that things should work. Like, I'm all about freedom. So I'm
America.
okay with it. Yeah, America. I'm okay with it because it is like your possession. You have the right to charge what you want, with limits. I mean, it all just depends. Like with medical supplies, I think that's ridiculous. But these are like, this is entertainment we're talking about. So
for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think it's okay for these companies to exploit your, like, in a way,
desire.
to exploit your desire, or depending on specific situations, exploit your nostalgia for one specific thing, because they can. It's their product. They could do it. It's just like how a lot of, like, Mass Effect, for instance, I'm playing right now, maybe people didn't want it, but when the original Mass Effect trilogy came out, they included, like, they also had a comic book, and it's like, oh, if you wanted more of that universe, you could pay for it. That was kind of like an off-topic thing, but I just think that these are original IPs that these companies hold, like the intellectual property. It is their property, so they can do with it what they will. Like, I'm okay with them charging you more for this experience. Like, it makes sense. They have to get something out of it to give it to you early, with the exception of, like, reviewers and stuff like that. That brings up the whole topic of, like, Gamergate and all that stuff, and I'm not really going to get into that, but yeah, okay. I definitely understand from a consumer and from, like, a retail standpoint. I understand why they would do it, and I don't think it's overstepping their bounds to kind of exploit your desires.
Okay, I just heard that topic, and I really don't care, you know? It doesn't really bother me. It doesn't really grind my gears, but I heard a lot of compelling arguments for and against it, and I just really wanted to know what you were thinking in your noggin. I
could definitely see a lot of people being annoyed about it. Like, in a way, it is unfair. That's why I was specifically saying, in a perfect world, yeah, as long as it's equal opportunity for everyone, you could do it. Or, I mean, I could see the argument of people saying, like, why don't you just release it then? If you can release it, like, that early, why wouldn't you just release your game as early as possible so people can play? Like, I would understand that argument, too. I mean, just to show, like, I guess in a way, at the moment, like, this entire episode, I've basically been playing devil's advocate. Because, like,
I can't really pick a side, can you?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily okay with it, but I understand why they would do it. I understand from, like, a fiscal standpoint that they're going to make a lot of money off people that want to play early. and it makes sense. It might be fucked up. I might not enjoy 100% that they do it, because you might be on, like, the short end of that stick, but I understand. I'm okay with it, in a sense. I'm not too annoyed.
Yeah, I get it, and it really doesn't bother me. If you need that head start, take it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to get in the game. I'm going to whoop you up. I'm going to sauce you up a little bit.
What?
And then, I mean, your week is really going to just be nowhere once I get in the game.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
So, I mean, I guess it's really a good thing for people.
Yeah, because they don't want you whooping up on them.
Because I like the handicap.
Them up.
Saucing people up, dude.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been another episode of Fanboy Talks, where we talk about everything fanboys care about. Fanboys, fangirls, anybody. My name has been Vaughn.
My name has been Chase.
Well, my name has always been Vaughn, and his name has always been Chase, but why not say that anyway? We talk about anything anybody cares about. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure if you like it, click the like button. Make sure you leave a comment letting us know how we're doing, and make sure you click subscribe, because we post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.